It all started with a cryptic tweet, just for words. Best date ever. Wow. And the internet exploded. It came from none other than MrBeast, the YouTube king known for spending absurd amounts of money on videos, philanthropy, and jaw-dropping surprises. But this wasn't about a subscriber challenge, a 100-hour survival contest, or a Lamborghini giveaway. This time, it was personal. Whispers began to circulate. Had Jimmy Donaldson, the world's most influential YouTuber, finally taken a leap into the spotlight, not just as a content creator, but as a man in love? What followed was a whirlwind of speculation, detective-level fan theories, and then, finally, confirmation MrBeast had just taken someone special on what's now being called the most expensive date in YouTube history, worth over $1 million. For a man whose public image has always leaned toward philanthropy and humor rather than romance, this sudden pivot was electric. Fans have followed MrBeast's journey for years, from his early challenge videos in his room, counting to 100,000, to building an international brand with Beast Burger, Feastables, and charity ventures that have fed millions. But there was always one thing missing from his story: a romantic interest. MrBeast had mentioned in a few interviews that dating while managing a billion-dollar empire wasn't easy. Still, no one expected him to go public, and especially not with something this outrageous. So who was the mystery girl, and why did this date cause the entire internet to lose its mind? Sources close to the YouTuber revealed that the date had been planned for over 2 months. This wasn't a spontaneous flash of romance, it was a meticulously choreographed event. The woman at the center of the storm is reportedly a rising tech entrepreneur and part-time artist who had appeared briefly in one of Jimmy S. Lucerno community projects. Not a model, not a YouTuber, not a celebrity, just someone, according to Jimmy, who made him feel normal. That quote alone sent shockwaves through fandom spaces. For a man constantly surrounded by cameras, teams, and pressure, finding someone who grounds you is priceless and, apparently, worth $1 million. The first clue about the date's scale came from a private airport sighting. MrBeast was spotted boarding a private jet with an unfamiliar woman. Fans quickly triangulated the tail number and discovered the jet landed in the Maldives, one of the world's most exclusive romantic destinations. Within 48 hours, paparazzi photos surfaced. The pair walking barefoot along a pink sand beach, laughing over a candlelit dinner inside a glass dome under the ocean. The internet was floored. This wasn't just a vacation. This was the ultimate fairy tale moment, staged to perfection but lived with genuine joy. But MrBeast hadn't even begun yet. The next day, the couple was seen boarding a yacht, rumored to cost $250,000 for a single day. Not just any yacht, these one came with a private crew, a Michelin-starred chef flown in from Europe, and a musician playing custom-composed songs for the pair under the stars. MrBeast is no stranger to extravagance, but this date wasn't about flex and wealth. It was romantic, almost poetic. In a behind-the-scenes clip leaked by someone on the yacht crew, Jimmy can be heard saying, "This isn't a video. This is just for us." That moment, when shared online, reshaped public perception. MrBeast wasn't doing this for likes. He was doing it for love. But of course, the public couldn't stay quiet. Fan forums, Reddit threads, and TikTok stitches began dissecting every image and video. Who was she? Why her? Was this a marketing stunt? Was she secretly an Internet detectives dug deep. But Jimmy's team managed to keep most details private until one of his close friends dropped a hint. In a podcast interview, Chris Tyson smirked and said, "Let's just say Jimmy's been smiling a lot lately. And for once, it's not because of views." The fandom exploded. Memes flooded Twitter. Edits of romantic clips featuring MrBeast went viral. The internet was completely obsessed. As the trip progressed, more details emerged. The couple visited a floating cinema, where MrBeast reportedly screened a short film he had secretly produced about her life, narrated by Morgan Freeman. Yes, Morgan Freeman. According to insiders, the film was only 3 minutes long but covered her childhood, her passions, and why he admired her courage. That alone reportedly cost over $100,000 to produce. But it wasn't about the money. It was the gesture, the intimacy. It was clear this wasn't just an expensive flex. This was MrBeast in his most vulnerable form. Not as a YouTube legend, but as a guy trying to show someone how much he mattered. What makes this story so compelling? The price tag at S, how little we expected it from him. MrBeast built a career on giving to others, building homes, paying off debts, planting trees, and solving problems. Fans never saw him as the romantic type. He rarely spoke about his personal life, choosing instead to focus on content and impact. But now, here he was, exposing his heart in the most lavish, sincere way imaginable. Some fans called it the ultimate soft launch. Others called it a bold move to humanize his brand. But most just smiled, genuinely happy to see him happy. And here's where things get even more interesting. Toward the end of the trip, MrBeast reportedly gifted his date something truly mind-blowing: a private island. While details remain under wraps, sources say the island isn't just a small patch of paradise in the Caribbean, but It came with a plaque reading, "For the one place where we'll always be just us." That moment of truth is one of the most insane romantic gestures in modern internet history. A $1 million date, now made permanent with a literal piece of the earth. As news of the island broke, social media completely lost it. TikTok was flooded with reactions. People pretending to faint, joking that they'd become a YouTuber today, or tagging their partners with, "Step it up." Celebrities chimed in too. Logan Paul tweeted, "Bro out here playing a different game," while Charli D'Amelio posted a cryptic heart emoji that fans think was directed at the couple. Even Oprah, in an unexpected twist, referenced the story during an interview about love in the digital age, saying, "Sometimes the most public people can surprise us with the most private love, but beneath all the noise, the speculation, and the glitter, something deeply human is at the core of this moment." MrBeast spent years building joy for others. Finally built a moment for himself. Not for content, not for profit, but for connection. In a world obsessed with showing off, this felt like a real story, a reminder that even the most powerful influencers are still just people, hoping to be seen, hoping to be understood, hoping to find someone who looks past the numbers and into the soul. When MrBeast returned from the now legendary $1 million date, he didn't post a flashy YouTube video, didn't tweet a thank you to fans, didn't even drop a teaser. Instead, he went radio silent. No uploads, no behind the scenes, and for someone who had built a digital empire on transparency and spectacle, the sudden silence only made people more obsessed. The internet hadn't just witnessed a billionaire YouTuber's romantic gesture. It had stumbled into the beginning of something far more personal. Whispers turned to waves. Was this the start of a new relationship era for MrBeast's? Or something even deeper? Within days, speculation reached a fever pitch. Photos began to leak, not from paparazzi, but from people close to the crew. One of Jimmy and his mystery date visiting a secluded mountain estate in Switzerland. Another of the pair strolling through a vineyard in Tuscany, laughing without any cameras in sight. Every image added fuel to the fire. This wasn't a weekend fling, this was turning into something serious. And it wasn't just fans who noticed. Major media outlets picked up the story. Headlines like "MrBeast's romance redefines influencer love," and "Inside the private world of YouTube's most eligible billionaire" dominated celebrity news. Then came the ring rumors. It started with a blurry zoom-in on her hand from a fan-shot photo at a private resort in Bora Bora. On her left ring finger, a diamond. Not massive, but elegant. Tasteful. The internet collectively screamed. Within hours, MrBeast engaged. Was trending on Twitter. TikTok creators were making timeline theories. Reddit sleuths dissected the design of the ring and compared it to luxury jewelers Jimmy had partnered with in past charity events. But neither MrBeast nor anyone on his team confirmed or denied it. And that silence spoke louder than any headline. Behind the scenes, those closest to Jimmy said he was different, calmer, more centered, more focused, not on content, but on life. His business meetings reportedly shifted. While the Beast Empire continued operating at full speed, Jimmy began taking more time offline, fewer late-night shoots, more personal retreats. He even paused to work on an upcoming challenge video that was already in pre-production, reportedly telling his team, "It'll be better if we take time to breathe." For a man who had built his brand on pushing limits, the idea of slowing down sent ripples through his creative circle. And yet, it wasn't decline. It was transformation. Those closest to Jimmy say that his new relationship opened up something he hadn't felt in years. Freedom. Not just freedom from algorithms, but from expectation. For so long he had been MrBeast the brand, the philanthropist, the millionaire challenge king. But now, for the first time, he was just Jimmy. A guy figuring out what really mattered. He wasn't buying love. He was investing in peace, in connection, in future. He even began exploring a new documentary-style series, not about challenges or giveaways, but about mental health, relationships, and the human side of internet fame. The woman he was dating reportedly encouraged it. Insiders say she challenged him intellectually and emotionally. She wasn't dazzled by the helicopters or yachts. She was impressed by his heart, his drive to help others, and his discomfort with his own celebrity. She saw him, not the camera-ready version of him. And that changed everything. Jimmy began pulling old content offline, especially videos that felt too loud. He even restructured how he handles donations, moving toward a quieter, more sustainable impact model. It's not about going viral anymore, one team member reportedly said. It's about lasting, but the public wanted answers. Finally, weeks after the viral date, MrBeast uploaded a short, unmonetized video titled, simply, "This Changed Me." No thumbnail, no clip, just a still image of a beach at sunset. In it, Jimmy spoke directly to the camera, visibly emotional. "For years, I gave away money to make people smile," he said, "but recently, someone gave me something I never expected. Clarity. Peace, a reason to wake up that had nothing to do with views. He didn't say her name, didn't confirm the engagement, but he didn't have to. The message was clear. He was in love, and it was real. The video broke the internet, not because of stunts, but because of its rawness. In just under 5 minutes, MrBeast let his guard down completely. He talked about loneliness, burnout, the weight of being everyone's hope, and the guilt of feeling empty, even when millions adored him. You can have everything and still feel like nothing, he said, until someone looks at you and says, "You matter to me, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are." That quote alone trended for 48 hours straight. It became a moment, a shift, a reintroduction. From that point, fans began to support him differently. Instead of asking for new videos, they asked if he was taking care of himself. Instead of pushing him to one-up himself, they thanked him for being honest. And in a surprising turn, Jimmy started collaborating with creators known not for spectacle, but for storytelling. Quiet vloggers, mental health advocates, relationship experts. The MrBeast's brand was evolving. Still generous, still bold, but now grounded in something deeper. And right in the center of that shift was the love story no one saw coming. Then, at a tech conference in Austin, Jimmy made his most unexpected announcement yet. While speaking on a panel about creator responsibility, he shared that he was launching a nonprofit retreat center, a place for overworked digital creators to unplug, reflect, and reconnect with life beyond screens, funded entirely from his own profits. The center would provide therapy, creative workshops, and community for content creators drowning in pressure. The idea had reportedly come from a conversation he had with his partner. "Whilst we build platforms," she told him. "But who builds us?" That stuck with him. The internet's reaction, overwhelmingly positive. Fellow YouTubers praised the idea. Fans began contributing to the cause. Some called it his greatest idea yet, but the most emotional responses came from those who had struggled in silence. Creators who finally felt seen, understood. For them, MrBeast wasn't just a YouTuber anymore. He had become something more. A leader, a mirror, a man walking the difficult line between fame and meaning. And as for the romance, it continued to bloom. Quietly, Jimmy and his partner were seen at local bookstores, small-town diners, even hiking trails, far from the chaos of celebrity. No brand deals, no entourage. Just two people discovering life together. One insider said, "They're building something real. No cameras, no scripts, just real moments." And while they haven't officially confirmed anything, the rumor mill now believes they've moved in together, not into a mansion, but into a modest, nature-surrounded home Jimmy bought off-market to escape LA as the weeks turned into months. What started as a viral moment evolved into a movement. Fans began posting their own stories of quiet romance, of choosing presence over perfection. A hashtag trended, #BeastLove, not to worship the man, but to celebrate the idea that even the most powerful among us still crave simple, human things. Connection, laughter, someone to hold when the cameras stop rolling. In a final twist that nobody expected, MrBeast announced he would be taking a short break. Not for burnout, not because of drama, but just to live. "I've spent so much time making other people's dreams come true," he said in a line. "Now I want to spend some time building my own." The chat exploded. Crying faces, messages of love, and the top comment, "Go love her, Jimmy. We'll be here when you get back." And just like that, the man who once defined internet virality walked away, not forever, but just long enough to remind us all what really matters. Not the views, not the money, but love. Real, raw, unsponsored love.